Boom.
And we're live. I'm Steve Metrics. That's your boy.
DJ Triggs.
And together we are No Debate Sports here on the fifth week of the NFL season. And I don't know about you, Triggs, but feels like for me, it's one of those weeks where I could have submitted two resumes, one for broadcasting for my Raiders game and one for
Oh,
quarterbacking for my Raiders game.
oh. I didn't want to touch that. I was gonna,
That's okay.
I'm just gonna,
That's debate.
I'm just gonna stand back and listen to you, the Raiders.
Right, right. I
That was
mean,
rough.
a little bit. Yeah. You're telling me, man. Watch, especially me watching it. And going into the week, I mean, I tell you what, like the whole Mark Sanchez stuff is crazy. I tell you what, watching Fox
Right?
games, like he's kind of like the third best commentator, I'd say, for Fox teams, maybe even second. But one of the guys that I love listening to on Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Brady Quinn, he flew in, he took care of the game, did a great
Yep.
job. Give him a lot of props for that. So good work there on short notice. But however, not having short notice, Geno Smith, I'll tell you what, that guy does not belong in the National Football League quarterbacking any more games from here on out. And I called this 2 weeks ago after the Washington game, where everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, he
Yeah.
threw for 1 million yards and 1 million touchdowns, all in garbage time." Because when the game mattered, he did absolutely squat. I thought he looked
Mhm.
horrible in the Washington game, and even though fantasy he ranked fourth, and again doesn't mean anything, but I could see some weird stuff in week two, but week three, it was clearly evident that Geno Smith is a stupid quarterback. Like not in the fact that like he's fantastic, but like up here, like between the earlobes, he just doesn't have it. He is not smart. He will make 1 to 2 progressions, throw into tight double coverage, and he is a awful quarterback. He is absolutely unintelligent. We know how he started his career. He is a very unintelligent quarterback that needs to no longer be quarterbacking my football team.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. All of that. Like literally all of that. Now, like, yeah, he's top 10 in yards. Well, guess what? Of course he's top 10 in yards because you're just getting pummeled every week, right? Um,
Right.
like the Colts put up 40. The Commanders put up 40. You lost by 11 to the Chargers. Like, yeah, the Bears game was close, but like, you know what's even more crazy? You beat the Patriots, who are like on fire right now and have a
They
shot
are.
at beating Buffalo today. Like,
They do.
I am blown away. Like, Jack Beck is drafted in the second round. I don't even see us throw the ball, or us. I don't even see the Raiders throw the ball at the guy. Um, Ashton Genty was supposed to be this super hero, like Dayton or Dante Thornton is out there. Like you got guys like Trey Tucker. Now, mind you, yeah, Trey Tucker had that one great game and he blew up, and guys like me put him on their team because I said, hey, the Raiders are going to throw the ball a lot.
Yep.
What are they doing?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Trey Tucker, that is Geno Smith's number one, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay Thornton does have trouble catching a football. I've noticed that over the span of four
Yep.
games. And today, granted, I mean, we got two starting tight ends who were both out, but I did see a lot of, I mean, for as weird as it was, I did see some like really nice growth in Jack Beck today. And there's actually a play in this game where Jack Beck is wide open downfield for probably a 50-yard catch and score had Geno Smith saw him, but Geno Smith
Yep.
only looks basically to the sidelines when he throws a pass. He's either going to throw like to somebody he knows that's crossing the field, or he's going to go sideline to sideline, or he's going to check down to Ashton Genty. And Ashton Genty had no business being the number, like the entire offense for the Raiders today. The kid's great, but he is not the offense. He is not Saquon Barkley. He is not Jonathan Taylor. To me, it shows how completely incompetent Geno Smith is at quarterbacking. I don't even know if the Colts have a good secondary. I mean, I think probably some of these guys were recovered downfield, but I know there are plays where somebody on the Raiders is clearly wide open, like a Jack Beck or the
Mhm.
not Albert O, but we have another tight end that was playing today. Guy was wide open at the goal line when we were like maybe on the 10, maybe 5 yard line. Guy was basically crossing across the field, and instead he wants to throw a zinger to like Trey Tucker at the back of the end zone, and Trey Tucker's like 5 foot something, so you don't have too much height to play with. But it shows me how incompetent Geno Smith is. He should not be on any fantasy football rosters. I've been saying this for quite a while. He absolutely should not be in the National Football League either.
It's crazy. He led the league in interceptions last year. He leads the league in interceptions this year.
Yep,
Like,
9,
yeah. Um,
5 weeks
I don't
in.
even know what to say about the guy. He's got 6 touchdowns, right? 4 of them are to Trey Tucker, and I think 3 of them were in one game.
And 3 of them are in the Washington game, which I'm telling you is completely
Yeah,
meaningless. So I would take all
yeah,
those Washington touchdowns and subtract 3. So whatever touchdowns he scored on the season, subtract 3, because everything he did in the Washington game that looks good is completely meaningless. Because if you actually watch the game for time that matters,
yeah.
he flounders. He absolutely cannot quarterback. He's pretty bad at picking up stuff pre-snap. He's gotten a little bit better lately, but once a play develops, he can at most make 2 progressions. There's plenty of times where he can't even make 2 and he only makes 1. So I'm telling you, man, but between the earlobes, he doesn't have it. He's not smart. We know how he started his career, making a really stupid decision to start his career off the field. And he went to college at West Virginia. Nothing against West Virginia, but I haven't ever seen a really great quarterback come out of West Virginia.
Pat
And
White. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't think Geno Smith has it. I think he's been in the league way too long. I don't get why so many people were gung ho about his miraculous season in Seattle a few years ago. And I'll be honest. I mean, I'm disappointed that my Raiders brought back that offensive coordinator that worked with him then, because I had that guy working with Derek Carr and John Gruden back in the day. So to see that same kind of bad offensive coordinator now back on the sidelines working with the quarterback is just mind-boggling. Like, I don't get why we are going so far backwards. And in a game that was so meaningless, why did not a single backup quarterback take any reps in this game? It made no sense. There were more reps taken by Daniel Jones's backup than there were by any of our backups.
The only guy I think that's dressed is Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
And
put him
mind you,
out there.
Kenny Pickett was on Cleveland for quite some time through the offseason. So,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. Raheem Mostert should have been running the football. I mean, a bunch of the
Yes.
rookies should have been out there. Ian Thomas, like just
Yep.
bring out everybody you can off the bench and just let them go. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
bad. That was just bad football.
Yeah, I mean, I to me, like, that would have been the perfect time for Cam Miller to go out there. I know I have a bye week coming up in about 3 weeks, so there's definitely going to be something that's changed up after that bye week. But every time the camera was going to Chip Kelly in the press box, the guy had his face in his hands, and you could
Hmm.
tell like he was pissed. You could tell that Geno Smith couldn't work any of the good plays that Chip Kelly was dialing up. It just looked incredibly frustrating. I mean, if I were Chip Kelly, I mean, these guys are all millionaires. Like, it is the millionaires club. If I were Chip Kelly, I'd say straight up, we're changing up quarterback or I walk. I mean, like,
Yeah,
the guy's got he's got money, he's got leverage, he can go back to college. He didn't lose anything close to this many games when he was working at Ohio State. And maybe he had some kind of bad record with UCLA, but at least he kind of ran the show and could at least change things up if things weren't going right. With the
right.
Raiders, he is stuck with Geno Smith for as long as Pete Carroll and Mark Davis want Geno Smith quarterbacking that team.
Well, I mean, clearly, I mean, I was wrong. I can admit I was definitely wrong. Talking about, I actually thought the Raiders had a shot at doing something, but this is almost ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
I didn't think
Yeah.
it'd be this bad.
I didn't think so either. I thought
Um,
we could. I mean, I'll be honest. I feel like the almost the entire team is good, except for how bad the quarterback is, which to me is identical to how bad Gardner Minshew was last season.
yeah, I mean, I don't trust the Chargers, and we'll get to them. The
Oh
Chiefs look pretty
yes,
bad.
sure.
The Broncos are kind of they're doing what they're doing. Like there's an opening for the Raiders, but before we get to that, how about we go to that London early game? And the Raiders
Okay.
actually could have had one of their quarterbacks, but they picked Kenny Pickett from Cleveland. Dylan Gabriel wasn't like the worst thing in the world, 190 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he almost won that football game.
That's impressive. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
impressive for going overseas, doing that first career start. I was keeping tabs on Quinshon Judkins. I
yeah,
have him on my other league's fantasy team, and I was playing against Quinshon Judkins today
yeah,
in our league today. So pretty impressive there. Yeah, I mean I gotta give Cleveland some credit, and again too. I mean I think that's a sneaky team that could cause some noise and could get close to making the playoffs. If they're another team kind of like my Raiders, where if they figure out quarterback, they're set. Like they pretty much have a nearly complete roster across the board, except for having lousy quarterback play. And Joe Flacco is lousy. I mean, we're seeing this crop of guys, whether it's Joe Flacco, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson, it's over. Like their time is done, and they got
yeah,
to exit the league. Like that. It's just it's life. It's time for the new wave, the new transition of players to come in. Some will work, some won't, but you got to have that new transition happen. And yeah, I give the Browns and the Giants a lot of credit for turning the page and saying, you know what, we got to change it up. And I'm really upset that the team I love is seeing this and not doing a darn thing about it.
yeah. I mean, Judkins was one of those guys, just speaking about him, that I thought was going to be a steal in every draft. I tried to get him in just about every draft I was in,
Yep.
um, unless someone really picked him early, and then I just kind of was like, oh, all right, that's fine. But
Yep.
what a like stud at running back. But
Yes.
hey, I can't take it away from Carson Wentz. That guy is like he could still start football games. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
he's he's got the Vikings at 3-2. JJ McCarthy to me probably doesn't have a job for the rest of the season.
Right.
Um, and
Yeah. He needs time to get up to speed.
yeah, uh, Jefferson actually looked like himself. 11 targets. Jordan Addison was doing pretty well with 6 targets.
Nice.
Um, and then uh, and now I mean I'm not going to hold this against Gabriel, but there's no wide receivers on Cleveland. There's literally none. David Njoku had the most targets. Judkins and Bond had, and I don't even know who Isaiah Bond is, to be honest, but he had 7 targets. Like it, you just you can't touch anyone except Judkins on that team.
Right. So the fact that Jerry Judy and Cedric Tillman, I know Tillman got hurt last week, but yeah, I mean, if Judy's not doing it, then that's a little bit rough. But if you have a player on Cleveland that just got 7 targets, it'd be worth checking that guy out. I mean, watch the game, see how he develops. Every time that there's a new quarterback at the helm, that basically changes the mix of how the passing volume goes around. You might have someone there. You might have somebody there that works. I mean, looking at Seattle, and we know somebody in our league dropped a certain player today, but that Torrey Horton seems to be a go-to of Sam Darnold when they get
Yep.
closer to that red zone. So, I mean, granted, the percentage of snap volume might not be there, but you do have to understand that some of these new quarterbacks are going to have new targets that they like and that they're going to favor, like Jackson Dart, Theo Johnson. That's his guy. So, like, you got to know some of these guys, and even though it might be a no-name guy that's out there doing it, the guy's still doing the work, and that can actually get you some significant points in fantasy.
Yeah, Isaiah Bond, and I didn't mean to disrespect him or anything, but he's a rookie out of Texas.
Okay. Oh, okay. So is he like another speedster that was opposite Matthew Golden? Probably.
That I don't know too much about him, to be honest.
Okay.
Now, uh, speaking of teams I have no clue about, and you just brought him up with Jackson Dart. What? How did the Saints win a football game?
That I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch it when my game's going on. I'm kind of zero dark 30 when it comes to the rest of the NFL. But I really don't know. I mean, I was hearing some stuff that like the Saints might have a good matchup today, fantasy wise. I don't know. I really don't know much about it. I thought the Saints were basically punting the season to get Arch Manning, so I don't know what's going on there. This is a game that
Hey,
I'm definitely gonna have to watch. I mean, for fantasy, I did have some big production today between Theo Johnson and Cam Scadaboo, and I was hoping to get a little more points out of Devin Singletary and kind of squeeze a little more juice out of that lemon. But I did everything I could with my Giants fantasy football team today, so it was what it was. But yeah, I really don't know how you lose a game to the Saints after taking down the Chargers, who, in my eyes, is one of those better secondaries in the NFL.
yeah. So I know everybody's really big on Arch, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know. His team's not looking too hot in college football.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd still go with
falling
the
out of
Penn
the
State
top
guys.
25.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah. I
going
mean,
on
I
there?
saw Arch in high school lose a pretty nasty game to a team in Florida. So, I mean, like, I still got to hold my reserves on this, and we'll see how Arch develops. And I mean, that's for more of our off season to digest and figure it out. But I mean, I have heard there are some good quarterbacks coming into the league. And basically, last season only gave us possibly one NFL starting quarterback.
Yeah,
So it's up to Jackson Dart to carry that torch, but it doesn't look like any other quarterback, maybe Dylan Gabriel, but that torch is going to be probably one, two, or zero.
yeah. So in this game though, I mean, I'm really big on Jackson Dart. I actually started him in two of my leagues. Uh,
Nice.
it wasn't the worst, you know. I could have done worse. Wasn't the best, but like I got a pretty solid showing out of him, near top 10 quarterback.
Really?
Yeah. Now
How
now I
many
know
fantasy
some
points
people
are we talking? Like 18 ish?
I think he was at 16 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let me go find him.
Yeah, you can work with that.
Yeah, 15 and a half. Um,
All right.
especially with, I mean, Dylan Gabriel or Spencer Radler, nobody was going to start those guys. Like there was
Right.
some guys where I was just kind of like, not really sure. No one thought CJ Stroud was going to light up Baltimore for 30 today, but like he gave me enough where I was like, okay, this is solid. I mean,
Sure.
now on top of throwing the football, yeah, he had some ugly interceptions, but two touchdowns, 200 yards. He ran for 55. Like he can give you that every week, and you're happy.
The juice.
Yep. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I just need him to find an actual receiver, so like I can pair him up with somebody. But I'm not gonna.
It'll happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to take some time. I mean, I got
time.
Darius Slayton in one league. Neither you nor me was able to land him in our league, but at some point he is going to figure out which receiver is his go-to. Right now, I mean, being a young quarterback out of the gate, definitely a tight end. Theo Johnson is definitely his go-to. So you got that. You got Cam Scadaboo. You got that going on. So it is what it is. I do like some of these Giants moving forward. I know they do have a tough stretch coming up with like Philly, Denver, Philly. So got to be kind of heads up on that.
Um, yeah. Speaking of, I can't even believe I'm saying this. How about them Cowboys? Right? Uh, they put up a 20 spot in the second quarter, and like I had them beating the Jets again. The Jets are the only team that hasn't won a game.
Yeah, they look so bad.
Yeah, absolute garbage. Yeah, I really don't know why they're bad. They're just bad. Like their offensive line play is bad. They don't get very
Right.
much pressure on the defensive line, their front seven. But speaking of trying to find a guy, I I don't even know who Ryan Flournoy. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. The guy from southeastern Missouri, sixth round pick last year, gets like every target. He got 9 targets today. He doubled up George Pickens in targets. How does that even make sense?
Man, that's crazy. I mean, I would not have guessed that. What about Jalen Tolbert? Did like he do anything? Did Cavante Turpin do anything in this game?
So Turpin, not even on the box score. And
Wow.
Jalen Tolbert burned me. The man got 1 target for 0 yards. Absolutely burnt. Ryan Flournoy is the guy that burned everybody on Dallas. How does Dak Prescott throw 4 touchdowns and none of these receivers get anything? George Pickens gets 4 targets. And we're talking about Jake Ferguson and this guy, Southeastern Missouri.
I mean that's wild, man. I mean there's people I know that bailed on Dak Prescott way too early, and oh no, you're one of them. I
I got,
work
I
with
got,
definitely at least one of them.
hey, I got Jackson Dart out of it though. So
That's
like,
fair. That's fair.
yeah, I didn't. So I feel like that Packer game was a little hit or miss. I
But that
honestly
tells you a
don't.
lot about Dak, though, because Green Bay
Yeah,
is a solid defense.
it is, and yeah, I kind of was like, okay, maybe I can get away from him 1 game earlier than 1 game late, and I'll sit on that forever. Um, and I started to see some of the defenses they're going to start playing, and I just didn't want someone to step in front of me and get Jackson Dart before I could.
Smart.
Which I'll be honest, you
That's the
look
right
at.
play.
I thought Green Bay was going to play better than that. Obviously, being a Packer fan, no one would have guessed a 40-40 tie. That just sounds nuts. Um, they play the Jets and or they played the Jets and then they play Carolina, which Carolina's defense is it's okay. But then they run into Washington, Denver. I thought the Raiders were going to be a little better than this. Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders again. Like I'm good.
Yeah, it's
I,
tough.
if he goes
That's tough.
lights up everybody, I'm all right. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, and I would say he's kind of on pace to do that. I mean, I was definitely hearing some chatter preseason that this guy could have been almost like top 10,
Yeah,
and he's
I was
probably going to
with
show
that.
that. Yep.
I was with that. And then on top of that, CD Lamb also went down 2 weeks ago. So like
Right.
I literally just said, hey, if I get burned by Dak Prescott, I'm totally fine with that. But
Right.
at the same time, missing your receiver, that tough schedule, like no.
Yep.
But I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
You got some
I can
tough
guarantee
secondaries.
I can guarantee half of those games are going to be busts. And like again, if I get burned by Ryan Flournoy, okay, fine. The
So
guy
be it.
he completed 18 passes and got 4 touchdowns today. But I don't see that happening every week. Just saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you're spot
'Cause
on with that. It's just that we know Dallas is going to light it up because their defense is going to let everything pass through. So that offense will find their way back onto the field pretty quickly.
which is totally understandable. Like, but when you also look at things like I'm actually clicking on his fantasy profile right now.
Okay.
Uh, he was projected to get 16 points. Yeah, he got a lot more than that, right? But you go through his game log: 7, 22, 12, 30. Like every other week, he's just giving you a bust. So I'm good.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I definitely get it. I get where you see the bus, and you don't want to have that on your team. To be honest, really consistency in fantasy is really what pays off.
Yeah.
So if you can land that, that's cool. I know one of my friends dropped Dak for Justin Fields. Not sure how that
Oh,
went today,
it
but
went really well today. I
oh, okay.
also Justin Fields is my backup in one of my leagues. So
Interesting
uh,
because I've heard his schedule is very favorable.
Lamar Jackson went down, and so I basically, I you know me, I normally never take a backup quarterback, but it was a late end of the draft, and I took Justin Fields. Yeah, they got beat by 15, but
Right.
he had the fifth most fantasy points. Dak was second, so like
That's
I'm
a
all right
win.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a big time win. Yeah, I give you credit there. I mean, the thing that I've heard that makes the Jets offense a little wonky is that they brought over one of the offensive assistants from Detroit, and he's trying to run that Detroit pre-snap motion kind of wonkiness instead of doing what they do best, which is probably ground and pound between Brees Hall and Braylon Allen, and then utilizing Justin Fields' legs in a Baltimore schematic kind of way. And then you do that, now you can open up Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Mason Taylor. You can kind of open up that offense in a way, I think, when you utilize that. So perhaps that was kind of a more styles to their offense today. I'll check it out. To me, it sounds like a pretty fun game to watch between the Cowboys and the Jets. I
now,
watched two games today that were not fun, that were absolute slaughters,
uh-oh.
and just yeah. Between the Raiders game and watching Detroit just annihilate Cincinnati, it was like I watched the same game twice.
So I we'll get to that Cincinnati game. I'm
Ugh.
just gonna peek behind the curtain here with Justin Fields, right? So he's played in 3 games. I mean, the Buffalo game, he was 3 for 11 for 27 yards. Kind of got knocked out of that one. Then he didn't play the next week against Tampa.
Yep.
So first game, 29 fantasy points. Last week, 27. This week,
Wow.
26. The guy
Holy
is,
smokes.
yeah, the guy's lighting it
Wow.
up as long as he's out there.
Oh, that's actually fantastic. No, that's actually great insight and how you brought it up. And I would hope that somehow analytically people realize that, hey, don't count that second game and don't count that third game. Like if you
Yeah,
take it on a points per game ratio, excluding games where you get knocked out, that might be the number one quarterback now
dude.
that you're bringing it up.
He's averaging 21.6, which makes him third behind Allen, Lamar, and Patrick Mahomes. But like, yeah, he's a stud. Definitely a stud.
That's great. No, that's great because I think that's what people want to see. It's just that they've had weird wonkiness with how they've played against some of these teams, but seeing that is kind of promising. I mean, that at least gives you hope, at least with the Jets.
So speaking of weird wonkiness, um Saquon Barkley only ran the ball 6 times.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like against just about anybody, I would say Philadelphia's MO is that offensive line and
Yeah.
utilizing Saquon. Like it has to be that. That's how you have to basically do your thing and get to victory.
Like,
So I really
actually,
don't know how that could go that way.
let me reset the table for you. The Eagles were up 17-3 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They then gave up 18 points and lost.
I don't know what to say, man. That's debate. that's pretty mind blowing right there, man.
Jalen Hurts threw for 280 and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they still lost.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, man. Like, I'm gonna have to watch that game because I mean, Denver is definitely one of my darling teams in the NFL this year that I'm pretty gung ho about. And even right now, I'm incredibly gung ho. I feel right now, pending what happens in this game tonight, I would say Denver to me is a top two team in the entire AFC.
All right. Well, I would debate that, but uh, I mean, there might be a team that's on bye that I think is probably number 2, but you know, we're not going to talk about that team. But
Oh, okay.
the the one part I will talk about is Troy Franklin, wide receiver out of Oregon. The dude had 6 targets, 9 targets. He had a little bummy game with 4 targets, but they ended up losing to the Chargers in a weird one. 8
Yes.
targets, 5 targets. Clearly, Bo Nix likes throwing the ball to this guy. He's right
Yep.
up there with Cortland Sutton. Getting Cortland Sutton's at 26 receptions. Franklin's at 21. Sutton gets all the touchdowns, but Franklin is getting the targets. Like, I actually really, really like this guy. He's one of those guys that no one's really going to talk about because, yeah, he's not a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean he's not a name stat wise though. Like he definitely popped a couple weeks ago. So like seeing that happen and then seeing his production today, to me does speak volumes and speaks that he has that ability.
Yeah. And he's under the radar. Now, I never want anyone to get hurt, but if Sutton goes down, Franklin, dude, I mean, he's literally 5 targets behind him
Oh
on the
wow.
for the lead on the team, and
Wow.
no one would have ever thought that. You would have thought maybe Marvin Mims would have stepped up or somebody like
Sure.
that. But Troy Franklin's putting in work.
Interesting. No, that's cool. And it's interesting you bring up Oregon. Did they play together?
Ooh, I don't know. I
Because that really changes things.
You got me
Like,
thinking though. Bo
yeah,
Nix was a rookie last year, right?
sure was.
Yeah. Troy Franklin, yeah. I want to say he got drafted last year, or the year before. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
2024 fourth round. Yep. So yeah, they did.
Oh man, yeah, that's that. Oh gosh, that's massive. I did not know that until now. Yeah, Troy Franklin has got to be a guy you got to get in just about any league now.
Yeah, you know what? Just dropping knowledge. That's no debate right there.
That's no debate. Yeah, that's pretty clutch. If you got a guy who's played college with a guy, and obviously the most obvious one is Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. That's synergy that's pretty top notch. So I like that. Bo Nix, definitely my guy. He's a guy that both you and I liked last season. So pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I mean to me, Denver should be based off of watching their games and knowing their games, and they had a weird week 1 game. To me, Denver should be undefeated. So I feel pretty strong. I mean, my gut feeling was from the beginning of the season that the AFC Championship game would be Denver against Buffalo. I stand by that.
Hey, I mean, the only argument I can really give you, they're third in point differential in the AFC. You could probably guess Buffalo's number 2. Can you guess
Okay,
who's number 1?
number
By a
one.
wide margin, too.
Wow, by a wide margin. Okay,
Yeah, they're at plus 74. Buffalo's at plus 43 in second.
holy smokes, and it's in the AFC.
Yeah.
Um boy, this is really weird. Um
Trust
I
me,
think I'd go with
everybody
the
thinks
team.
this is weird.
Yeah, I would think it would have to be the team I played today in the Indianapolis Colts.
It is definitely the Indianapolis Colts, and they probably ran up the score a bit.
They did.
But as I say, if you can't stop them, That's kind of on you at that point.
It is, and Geno Smith throwing interceptions on like our 20-yard line, like I don't know about that, man. It is what is. Granted, Geno threw one that was like a bullet that got deflected and then caught. I'm not too upset about that, but I am upset that total through 5 games you threw 9.
Yeah.
That's on you, man. So yeah, like Indianapolis is pretty good. I do. I'm gonna stick by what I've been thinking recently, which over the last few weeks, I do think the South is going to get 2 teams. I think the Colts and the Jaguars are going to come out of that division for the playoffs. So you got that going on. I think maybe the West is probably going to get 2 to 3. And then it's going to be interesting between the North and the East. One of those might get 2. One of them they might get 1. It'll be interesting, but I kind of think that that 7th spot in the AFC is going to be a real barn burner kind of fight for the teams at the end of the season.
So I heard you use a word, unstoppable. That would totally. No, I can't even say it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can. That would describe 2 guys in this next game between the Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins. Uh, Rico Dowdle? What?
Yeah, Rico Dowdle was an interesting pickup by Carolina. And I want to say Mark, my friend from work, was kind of spotting that out that Rico Dowdle might be a solid handcuff behind Chuba Hubbard. So that's an interesting play there. I mean, I was gung ho about Carolina, and then I kind of like dialed it back, and then basically peeled off a Bryce Young right before the season started. So
Um,
yeah, kind of weird. But
can
no, I mean,
can I
I
give you some?
watched Dowdle play last week, and like pretty solid, man.
Yeah, pretty solid, but not 206 yards and a touchdown solid. Like,
Dang,
what? Who?
dang.
What are we doing this week? There is nothing that said Carolina, and the Saints and teams like that. Where Tennessee of all teams, just like I don't know what's going on in Week 5, but we need to stop. Like, no
It is
more
a
of
full
this.
moon. It's a full moon.
Maybe that's what it is. And another guy who's completely unstoppable, and I have a little bit of beef with this guy just because one of my favorite WNBA players. But in 2 games, my man's got 3 touchdowns. Darren Waller. What?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I watched the Jets game, and the Jets absolutely looked putrid in that matchup. But Darren Waller basically, I mean, now that he's kind of well rested and I guess has had time to digest the playbook, he's starting to figure it out, man. I mean, I'm not gung ho on it. I tell you what, I'd rather be wrong and see Darren Waller have production than expect Darren Waller to do this, and he didn't.
Hey, my man, my man Tua threw for 250 and 3 tuds and still lost to Carolina. So I don't know, man. None of
That's
this makes
wild.
any sense to me. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Dude.
kind of wild. I know. I think I heard a running back for the Cardinals did a Deshaun Jackson,
Oh,
Chad
yeah.
Powers thing today.
Oh, we'll get there. We will get there. That absolutely happened. And they
Oh my
lost.
goodness!
And they lost. Like,
Wow,
I don't know what's
couldn't
going
happen to
on
a
here.
better team.
No. You know what? Let's go to that Cardinals game. Because yes, that is exactly what happened. Uh yeah, they lost to the Tennessee Titans, just so you know. Tennessee 21-6 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Tennessee puts up 16 and wins by 1 on a last second field goal. Now, yes, Amari DeMarcado, is that who? I think that's how
Yes,
you say his name. Dude had 3, I can't even make this up. He had 3 carries for 81 yards and just drops the ball. Touchback.
unbelievable.
Yep. And then you lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw it happen in one other game. I want to say last week. I want to say it was like, oh, I think it was either the Colts or Denver. Somebody did that. I think it was the Colts, but they still ended up winning that game like
Yeah.
by a wide margin. But yeah, I mean, you get to the goal line, just score the touchdown, and then be fine after that. I tell you what, ever since I saw Deshaun Jackson do that, I never liked Deshaun Jackson ever since.
Oh, I, I don't like anything about this game.
Yep.
Tennessee and Arizona should have just like played rock paper scissors because this game was bad. And then to see that happen, and then to see Tennessee win was just like, huh, okay. Like
Right.
when both quarterbacks are averaging only 7 yards a pass, is just insane. Like,
That's more than my quarterback throws.
well,
My quarterback
yes.
throws behind the line of scrimmage
There's been
consistently.
there's been a there's been a search party for Calvin Ridley, and the man had 130 yards today. That's how bad
And
this game was.
at least Calvin Ridley finally did his thing. Probably, if I had to guess, I would think the guy's probably going to hang it up at the end of the season.
He
But
should. I'm upset about it because I put so much love into this guy. Oh man, Calvin Ridley, he's going to help the young kid Ward, blah blah blah.
oh
He's
yeah,
the only guy out there catching passes,
he looks so
XYZ.
good.
27, 57, 27, 30.
Yep,
Yep. Yep.
yep. That's it,
What
man.
he doubled up his stats in yardage in one game today.
Jeez. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty mind blowing. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to um he's going to have a game here and there like this, but I don't know, man. Like the way he started the season to me was very disappointing. I didn't see that coming. I mean, there was a large contingency of people thinking like what you just said, and I agree with it. And and then I agreed with it so much, I actually decided to put money on it and have them win the division, and that's not going to happen.
Mm-mm. Yeah, the Colts are yeah. That Daniel Jones kid, I don't know. I don't know
I'll
where
tell you
he came
this.
from.
I'll tell you this. I watched the game today. I still stick by what I've seen. I still think he is a problem. He is definitely inaccurate. So he has a way of basically completing really, really small, high percentage passes. But there are like some big time throws that he has to make that he totally whiffs on. And I do wonder, like, to a degree, like maybe not having Alec Pierce today, that kind of changes that up. I think Alec Pierce is a massive, big time, deep threat that wasn't in this game at all. But in the game that I saw today, and Indianapolis does have some solid wide receivers. I don't really know all these guys, but I saw them play today. I'm like, man, these wideouts are actually kind of solid. I do know that in the past, people have called out Daniel Jones for his accuracy, and I did see that today. So they look good. They got a lot of points, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to score a lot of points when you're playing against Geno Smith. Like
Yeah.
that's no debate, man. Like Geno Smith is so bad and so incompetent that it's going to make another team look good to the point that you think the world of them. And ultimately, I watched the Colts today, and I don't think I learned that much about the Colts.
So I learned something today, and I'm slightly disappointed. Um, and I'm talking about the Texans and the Ravens.
Yep,
Uh, Lamar Jackson should be MVP every year. And I know I say that,
agreed.
and I jump on my soapbox, and I was upset about the Allen pick last year.
Yep.
But man, this guy not being there,
Oh, it
like,
shows.
it shows a lot. I mean,
Yep.
he is literally
The
the
team.
whole team. And let me tell you something here. He's still top 15 in yards, even though he's missed a game and some change.
Yep.
He is now this is gonna blow your mind. Are you ready for this? He's second in touchdown passes and only has one interception on the year. Like
That's
his
fantastic.
numbers are that ridiculous. And then his team goes out and gets absolutely
Torched.
manhandled.
Yep.
by a team. Now this is my question for you, Metrics. Has the league caught up to CJ Stroud?
I believe so. And it's why I've kind of faded on him going into the season. I did realize that he could be a quarterback that you could get towards the end of your fantasy drafts. But the fact that he's not mobile, I mean, when he was in his rookie season, it was like they kind of forced it on him to like be mobile. But his like downfield readability is totally different than what it was that rookie season. It's like looking downfield, like he just can't do it all of a sudden. And what those secondaries and what those defenses are scheming up against him, I don't know. But Stroud does look very, very different now than when he really knocked it out of the park his rookie year coming out of Ohio State. So I don't know what's going on.
And I asked that because in the first four, because I'm not going to count this game. Yeah, he had 288 or 244 yards, 85% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns. Like, okay,
It's
it
not
happened.
real.
Right. And then last week, he beat Tennessee 26-0, 78% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns. In those first 4 games, he had about 200 yards a game, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
That's pretty
E-
average.
Yeah, even if you add in what he just did, he's the 22nd ranked quarterback in fantasy.
I would kill for that for my
Let,
actual Raider team. I would
let
kill
me
for that. But
oh well let me drop some knowledge on you. Geno Smith is 20th. He's in
yeah,
front of CJ Stroud.
yeah, and we know a lot of it comes from the Washington game.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, like it is nice to see a quarterback that is somewhat of a franchise QB and one that is striving to get better in the league and figure things out and grow as a player. That's not happening with Geno.
How about Spencer Radler? I
Yeah,
wouldn't pick that guy. Kyler
right.
Murray?
No, I mean, I have very choice words for Kyler Murray. He
Right.
flat out does not belong in the NFL. And my a friend of mine at work said basically a quarterback that has the build of his daughter is not going to make it in the National Football League.
Yeah. Yeah. How
And when
how
you
about
can't
I
see over offensive linemen, it's just not going to work.
even worse, yeah. How about I serve you up a guy on bye? Aaron Rodgers is 17th. CJ Stroud is 22nd.
Yeah, I mean, like I have seen some bad interceptions here and there from Rodgers, but I have seen a lot of good play from him. And to be honest, he is kind of that glue that is keeping that Steelers offense together. Seeing what has been happening between Kenneth Gainwell and Calvin Austin is pretty much like that is the creme de la creme of that Steelers offense. But you still have Rodgers slinging the rock. You got DK Metcalf out there, you have Pat Fryermuth, and you do have Jalen Warren. That offense is becoming very balanced, and that's what it's going to take to keep them in the mix pretty much all season. If they do that, if they do maintain that, if they are lucky enough to stay healthy throughout the season, I can't believe I'm saying it, but they're absolutely going to be a playoff team. They'll probably win the division.
I mean, you heard it here first. I'm just saying. Just
And it
saying.
was not me. Like you are spot on with that.
Um so
I'm gonna owe you a
I guess
sandwich out of this.
we
Yep.
we can wrap this one up pretty quick. The Lions basically murdered the Bengals. Um,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the in
It
the
was.
in the call of the wild, Lions do beat Bengals, so it's fine.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I
Bengals
think,
are
right?
pretty majestic, powerful looking too.
Oh,
But
the Lions are
yeah.
like king of the
I don't
jungle
know.
or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they do play in the jungle in Cincy. But yeah, that game was identical to my Raider game, and then they switched and went to Chargers Washington, and I was starting to feel pretty good about that game. And then all of a sudden, towards the end, I don't know what it was, but somehow I thought they were literally just going to run the clock out and put this game away, and then somehow Debo Samuel scores a touchdown, and I'm in a nail biter now in fantasy.
I mean, we could go to the Washington game too. That I'm totally fine with that one. Because just like I say every year, they're a pumpkin. Well, the pumpkin
They
showed
are.
up today. They scored 10 points in the first quarter, and then they just said, we're not playing football anymore.
Yep, yep. And I mean, I know people have been saying some weird stuff about Lad McConkey. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to watch the Chargers game. I've watched a few Chargers games this season. I have thought their secondary actually looks really, really good.
They
I've
do.
thought the wide receivers are solid, but there is something going on with Lad McConkey from what I've heard. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. But I'll tell you this: the Chargers, to me, between losing today, losing last week against the Giants and the Broncos game, to me, the Broncos did outplay them. The Broncos did deserve to win that game, but they made 5 blunders that absolutely cost them that game. I think if you really look at it, the Chargers are kind of a 2-3 team, probably a 500 football team. They might be one of those teams to be like the last one in or the last one out, or one of the first teams out of the playoffs.
I can see
I think
that.
they're that kind of team. And also, Omari and Hampton went down today, so that's not some good news there either.
Yeah. For the last 3 weeks, Justin Herbert has had 14 fantasy points or less. Denver,
Yeah,
the Giants, and the Washington Commanders.
yeah. I
14
mean,
or less. That's pretty bad.
yeah, I wouldn't expect that against Washington. I would expect that against Denver, though. Denver's got a great defense, great secondary. You're going to have tough sledding against that team. But against Washington, I definitely
And the
did not see
Giants?
Washington winning this game. And the Giants, yep. Well,
Yeah.
the Giants do have a good pass rush, so they're kind of a sneaky defense. They're definitely going to get to the quarterback, so they're a little different like that. But I didn't see this kind of not so good performance today against Washington. That,
Hey,
to me, that's soccer.
I just watched Spencer Rattler light them up today. Like, I'm just
Fair
saying,
enough.
if the
That
Chargers
is
are supposed to be this perennial powerhouse because they got a new coach and a great quarterback, and the like, Lad McConkey has hurt my soul. I don't even know
ooh,
why I drafted the guy. He fell to me, and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, he'll at least get me some production.
oh,
Zero
totally.
production. Zero.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I had him. Lad McConkey basically would have been fourth on my fantasy first round picks
Well,
in
I'm
our
glad
league.
you didn't. I'm glad you didn't
Yeah.
because look, all right, game one, 74 yards, 9 targets. Okay, cool. Game two against your Raiders,
Raiders.
48 yards, right?
Yeah.
Uh 41 yards against Denver, 11
Okay.
yards against the Giants. 11? And today 39 yards. Like, what are we even
Hmm.
doing anymore?
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, I brought this up with a friend, kind of talking about wide receivers and catching a football in the National Football League. I think if you really think about it, I mean, I know Lad McConkey's kind of a like different breed that should be like just killing it. But if you really do think about it in the NFL, I think if you're catching around 40 to 50 yards receiving in the NFL in any given NFL game, I think that's real. I think that's like legit average. You expect that. So if I do see that out of a player nowadays, after realizing that and thinking about it, I'm not going to be totally upset. I think the big thing you got to
I am.
realize now that we're in this season is, could the change of bringing in Keenan Allen be changing that dynamic that we were expecting out of Lad McConkey? I think that's a serious debate
So
that you could really have with that offense.
so Quentin Johnson is the number 4 wide receiver in fantasy.
Right.
Luckily, I was a Lad McConkey guy that went, wait, this guy's horrible. Oh, I'm gonna go pick up this other guy, and at least I'll have his backup. Uh Quentin Johnson, 7 targets, 10 targets, 13 targets, and
Wow.
today 4. Like, the guy is just eating up targets. Lad
Yep.
McConkey can go away. I'm actually gonna say he should be cut in fantasy. fantasy, not in real football, just fantasy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if I see that in fantasy, I'm definitely gonna chop on that quickly because
I hope
I
so
like
because
things
he'll
do.
be a
Yeah,
piece of. You just be over there, put him on the bench.
that's fine. The thing is, like, I know things can change throughout a fantasy season, and I kind of go back last year with Chicago, which is ironically another team that Keenan Allen played for, where like later in the season you got to see more Keenan Allen, and you did see more like Roma Dunze kind of playing to that offense. So that mix of wide receivers kind of changed things up. I do wonder if we get back to having more Lad McConkey games from Justin Herbert and the Chargers later in the season. I definitely see that happening. And considering how frequently some guys are going down, I would definitely want to make sure if I got a guy like Lad McConkey, it might not be working, but he's a guy I got to keep on my roster, depending on your league size. I just think you can't totally bank on these guys staying healthy 100% through the season. They have less time that they're practicing before the season starts. They're wearing really light padding, and they're playing on turf. So this kind of mix of things going on. There might be something going on with the shoes too, but like it's pretty easy for guys to get hurt nowadays. So if I had a guy like Lad McConkey on my bench, I'd feel pretty good about that.
How about before I get off this game? Quentin Johnston's the number 4 wide receiver in fantasy. Keenan Allen is the number 10. So
That's cool.
yeah, Lad
That's
McConkey's
pretty cool.
kind of obsolete on that one. But speaking of obsolete, and like I don't even know where this team's coming from. I have no idea. I mean, there's only one game we haven't talked about. I mean, clearly game of the week, and I did not expect this. Uh my boy Abuka is over there like balling in Tampa Bay. The
Yes.
guy is literally averaging a touchdown a week. And Baker Mayfield may be the MVP.
Yeah, I know people were talking that last season as well. So, like, pretty cool to see that. Pretty cool to see that kind of play going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am a Bucky Irving owner, so no fun for me. I'm also a Tampa Bay defense owner, so kind of ate that one today. But again, we're playing the long game here. Like, I don't think there's a defense in the NFL that's going to be able to lick their chops better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come the fantasy playoffs.
New England
They,
Patriot.
ooh, interesting.
That
Okay,
you didn't hear that from me though. You didn't hear it from
okay,
me.
that's fair. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my Tampa Bay Buccaneers for fantasy, and man, there's a lot of green grass coming up at the end of the NFL season. So it might be tough sledding against Seattle and Philly. But I'll tell you what, like I've seen them both play. Those are both playoff teams by far,
Yeah.
and I feel even better today after this loss against Tampa Bay, seeing that I'm pretty confident that Seattle should make the playoffs. I bet them to win the division. They took a large whacking to the 49ers, who are leading that division in a pretty cool way, kind of like you called it. But yeah, both teams are pretty cool, man. So pretty cool stuff there.
Uh yeah. I no one expected this game, to be honest. But it was kind of a fun little back and forth in that fourth quarter. It was like at the beginning of the game, it was like a feeling out process, and then all of a sudden, it was just, oh, you got a touchdown? Well, I'm going to get a touchdown. Like
Sure.
Baker threw for 379, and Darnold threw for 341. Like
Wow.
it just became all right. If you got an Ohio State receiver, I've got an Ohio State receiver. No Mike Evans, like barely any Chris Godwin out there. It was just JSN for Abuka. Boom, like explosion.
Yeah, and again too, even that Torrey Horton getting production, he's another like
Yep.
interesting guy that you can get for deeper fantasy leagues like ours. Yeah, I mean, I have Sam Darnold in my other league, and I'm still possibly going to lose my matchup this week in that league, and I still have like 5 guys left to play between tonight's game and Monday Night Football between the Jags and the Chiefs. So I don't know, man. Like weird stuff in that league. I'm not a big fan of what's going on over there. But yeah, pretty cool game between Baker Mayfield and the Seahawks today. Also, really liked how they both wore their throwbacks from their inaugural seasons
Yeah.
50 years ago. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. That is that's my favorite kind of stuff right there.
Yeah,
You see that and you go, ooh, cream. Oh,
yeah. And
some of the
if
best
I
jerseys.
right, and if I know it right, I believe when those teams debuted in the NFL, I believe they started in opposite conferences and then switched. Something like that. Like I've heard that. I don't know how that is. I know growing
Um,
up that Seattle was an AFC West team. I do remember
they
that.
were. But Tampa was actually in the Central with the Packers because it was the
Correct.
Battle of the Bays. So I don't know
Yeah,
about
totally.
switching sides.
Yeah,
Not sure.
I wonder if they were like opposite to start and then they switched and then they stayed in those conferences for up until that realignment in like what the early 2000s, something like that. So I don't know.
I don't know. Not sure on that one.
Yeah.
Trying to. So I have a fun matchup I'm going through right now. A bit of a nail biter, and it's making me actually stare at my team here. Um,
Oh,
but I think it's over. Oh yeah, nope, not a nail biter anymore. They already lost. It's great.
oh no.
I'm moving to 5-0, so it's good times. Good times.
Good deal there, Triggs.
Even
Um,
without Lamar Jackson. Just saying.
okay, that's pretty impressive, man. I gotta give props to 2 teams in our league that I think are both going to win their matchups with Green Bay Packers players in the starting lineups on a bye. Like that's pretty impressive. I mean, our league is tight. It gets to the point where it's almost impossible to drop some of these guys or substitute
Yeah.
them out. So seeing teams pull that off, I give them a lot of credit for sure.
I'm in that boat right now of man, should I drop this guy? Should I do that? Like just want to throw things in the air and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes down to. You got to know your record, and you gotta kind of game plan for the end of the season. I know it's early, but like that time and those matchups do matter. Because if you get in, it's a whole new ball game, and you need those good matchups come fantasy playoff time.
Yeah, that's what I'm banking on. I'm hoping especially with this money league team that I have. I'm I was banking on Judkins uh becoming something. And same with Tyler Warren, and I've hit
Oh
on both of
gosh.
those. But I was expecting Lamar Jackson to take me through the end of the season because he'll still be playing for something. But I don't know what's going to happen at this point.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see how that goes for Baltimore. Once the season started, I realized, oh, this thought of having a healthy Lamar and Derrick Henry
Oh,
throughout the entire season is going to be a little tough to come by. But it is what it is, and we're here. Hey, we got some commentary coming here. Hey, good stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I just saw this pop up and I feel bad because I'm like, oh man, it was like a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
Should I trade JSN for JK Dobbins and Rome? I need running back help as I have Hampton, but my RB2 is Woody Marks and Henderson. Oh. I have Rasheed Rice, Tet, and Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. I would do it. I would do it. I would just I would hate myself that if JSN explodes for the rest of the season, which I do think he might. But as you just said, there's a couple of players on Seattle that can eat up some targets, including Cooper Cup, who we didn't even talk about.
Yeah, and I would say probably before this bye week essentially happened for the Bears, I think Roma Dunze is like the second best receiver in fantasy.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, he's absolutely awesome. The guy's definitely carried my fantasy team for several weeks. I
Yeah.
like watching the guy play. Um, I would kind of keep an eye on some of those backups in case you do have to handcuff, in case anything were to happen to Rome. I would keep an eye out for like Olamide Zacchaeus. He seems to be getting more volume than Luther Burden. They do both kind of run similar routes. So I would think about that, but I do really like seeing Zacchaeus. The guy's a speed freak. He's pretty much everywhere on the field, so I like that. But yeah, especially knowing that Omari and Hampton got hurt today, then I would definitely try to add that J.K. Dobbins factor. And even thinking about today, like thinking about how good the Broncos are, J.K. Dobbins is part of that, and he brings in kind of that vicious attitude that you need from some of your players. And I like that. I like seeing that J.K. Dobbins does that pretty much on every team that he's gone to. So I like this trade a lot. I mean, I like JSN a lot, but I don't even think JSN carries the value of Roma Dunze, to be honest.
No, I don't. I mean, you're looking at Roma Dunze, 9, 11, 7, and 8 targets over these first 4 games. He's got 5 touchdowns. Like, that's pretty insane when you think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, JSN is going to hit numbers, but J.K. Dobbins is actually running the ball really, really well. So, I mean, I don't know why they're giving you a 2-for-1 just for JSN, but okay, like
Yeah,
that's a one-sided trade for sure.
absolutely.
Especially because you're getting the running back help and you have 3 pretty nice receivers. Um, Honestly, I don't know how you got all of them. So like 4
Right.
receivers that are that good is kind of nuts.
Yeah, and I really do like, even though we haven't seen too much of it, and I definitely whiffed and caught it late, but definitely getting Rashi Rice late in just about any fantasy draft was totally the right play.
Yeah.
So like Xavier Worthy is solid, but like if you were able to get Worthy plus Rashi Rice, just gives you more flexibility, more handcuff ability for both those players. And you know that the Chiefs' offense is going to start to revolve around those guys now. So I really like the Rashi Rice play there.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Sam. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you got,
Cool, cool.
Patrick? Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's about it for the week. Yeah, we'll be on Sundays, 7 o'clock here, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You should see us here. We're trying to get on TikTok, do that jazz. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the input, Sam. And we'll see you guys here next week. So I'm Steve Metrics. That's your boy,
DJ Triggs.
and that's no debate.